We also got more Kanye West this weekend, and you talk about viral marketing, Dave.
Hey.
Uh, this is Donda 2, which we were told was going to come. It came,
Yep.
but not in the way that,
22222.
but not in the way that most albums come. Kanye dropped this on what was it called?
Stem player.
Stem player.
Proprietary music device, basically, that had previously existed.
Yeah.
But yeah, skewing digital streaming platforms because, as Kanye put it, they keep most of the money, and the labels get the money too. And on one hand, that's consistent with how Kanye has been talking lately about the industry and artists not getting their fair share. However, and in the process, he self-released this album. That's probably the way he was able to do this without putting it on major platforms. On the other hand, though, asking your fans to buy a $200 device to listen to the album legally, as the artist intended, is also not really the solution. You know, so it's perplexing and a new way for Ye to virally market himself. I suppose, I don't know, but if you're not interested in $200 stem players, there are other methods, as I'm sure people are aware.
And there was a concert on, I think it was Valentine's Day as well, and I
Right,
don't know.
in Miami.
There's all this stuff. It's like put on IMAX. You can stream it through YouTube. A lot of hype around this. Yeah, and then I guess like initially like 4 tracks released, and the next 12 are released.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can hear my voice. I've had very little time for this Kanye shenanigans this time around. Not only was I not super interested in hearing Donda 2 just from the start, especially after the first Donda, while having some highs, it has left me mostly just like
yeah,
disappointed in what we got. And I know that you are in that same boat with me. But then, you know, Kanye has been very much public with his relationship with Julia Fox recently. Just feels like whenever Kanye is rushing the music out, it's never good anyway, at least recently. So wasn't super excited for this. And now we've gotten Donda 2. Dave, I mean, was this worth it? I don't know.
well, no, I mean, like you said, he's done this a bunch of times, but he arguably did it in the worst fashion yet. But Kanye West once again rushed out a record, and in this case, ask the people who saw the live show in Miami. I mean, there was myriad sound issues with that. Even the live event was rushed in a certain sense. Just basic stuff wasn't right. Like the cues for people coming in were wrong. The bass levels were completely off. Um, Disappointing again because flashback to just December, post Donda, post in December, him and Drake did that Larry Hoover concert in LA, which you can watch on Amazon, and that got a huge reception. People really liked that. It's really cool, and had like the classic, unique visuals for Kanye doing his Sermon on the Mount effectively, but still playing basically all the hits that everyone loves, right? Even when Future brought him out of Rolling Loud LA in December, comes out to Can't Tell Me Nothing. Fucking great. He still sounds awesome. But then Julia Fox stuff happens, which is fine on its face, but the Julia Fox stuff happens, the Pete Davidson stuff happens, the Kim stuff continues. And then an album's supposed to come out. I've been seeing all the Julia Fox stuff. He ain't been in the studio, man. He's been at fucking Fashion Week. He's
Yeah.
been a famous person. And I feel like we can count how many sessions he did because there's only so many photos. And you get what you put in, and like he's just not operating at a high enough level right now to have this kind of lack of tact and like approach. In the case of Donda last year, as we said in our review, youtube.com/nostalgiapod, in the case of Donda, he couldn't censor himself. He couldn't cut down the bloat. And he got in the way of some cool moments and some cool ideas. This time around, he just didn't give himself time to come up with enough ideas. It's kind of the opposite problem. I mean, there's tracks on Donda too where he's barely on the song in the case of songs that have features. And it's just really perplexing. And this is clearly worse than Ye. This is worse than Jesus is King. This is the worst Kanye record. But it should have been the worst Kanye record because he clearly barely tried on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you summarized it well. I mean, I guess I'm just sitting here thinking where like the guy, and this is a question that we can't really answer, and I don't want to look into, but just thinking about when we first started the podcast, one of the reasons we wanted to start it when we did was Life of Pablo was supposed to be dropping. We wanted to do a deep dive into Life of Pablo and be talking about that record. Uh, and we had to wait for it because Kanye was in the studio making sure things sounded perfect. Now, is Pablo a perfect album without any blemishes or bloat? No. I mean, it's the beginning of late stage Kanye where you're getting a lot
Mm.
of music and not all of it is good. But he, at least at that point, really cared about what he was putting out, making it sound interesting. Mixing in new and inventive sound with the old school chopping up the samples and mixing things together in ways that no one had ever heard. This is just uninteresting music at this point. And at least with the Kanye record, even on Donda, there were moments where things sounded very, uh, I don't know, uninventive. But
Hmm.
there were also moments when you left and you were like, "Holy shit!" Like that's a fucking music moment. And I think I had maybe like two or three moments on this where I was like, "Okay, that track sounded competent," and that's
Right.
really disappointing.
Yeah. I know. I mean, last year, even though I didn't like Donda as an album, Hurricane featuring The Weeknd Little Baby was my song of the year. Like, he still has it in him sometimes, but don't think any of those times really showed up on this. Like, there's some cool things I noted. I thought the Kim sample on Sci-Fi actually was pretty enjoyable. Kind of smart use of that, even if he cuts her off before Kim explains why she would be divorcing Kanye. Regardless, I think that was a nice sample. Get Lost, cool like vocoder vocal effects, I guess.
I
Um,
just wrote dot 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 next to them my notes because I don't even know if that's cool or not. It's just like
yeah,
silence with distorted vocals.
right.
Okay,
I mean, honestly, my favorite track on this is "We Did It, Kid" with Baby
yeah.
Keem, Quavo, and Offset.
Hmm.
But that's this track where Kanye is literally there for like 3 bars.
Yep.
And why would he ever put out a song like that? Honestly, it's an awesome Migos performance. Quavo and
Hmm.
Offset sound great, going back and forth, bar for bar. Obviously, Kanye has censored them, but they still sound awesome and completely steal the track.
Do we just
But
need Kanye to produce a Migos album at this point? Is that what we need
perhaps
to
Migos could
fix
certainly
everybody's
use a
problems?
switch of switching up the juice a little bit too.
Ugh.
Yeah. But on the other hand, like we have two XXX Tentacion features. That's coming off of X being featured on Yandi Leaks track that never came out. I mean, X died over 3 years ago, man. We're done with these. There's nothing left. Like they don't add anything because they
The
are literally
orange has been
scraps.
juiced. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, We Did It was by far the track that stood out most to me. City of Gods been released as the lead single with Fabio Foreign. I think Fabio sounds great on it,
Yeah.
honestly.
Making good on
Really,
Off the Grid from last year. Really
yeah.
excited for that upcoming album from Fivio more than anything else.
Yeah, and really, I think a really cool nod. Apparently, when he first got this track from Kanye, he said, "Like I'm not the king of New York." Kanye told him that you have to say you're the king of New York, and then he gave Pop was the king of New York. Now I'm in charge line. Just
Yeah,
iconic,
that's great.
fucking way to pay tribute to Pop and also establish yourself, or at least lay your claim.
Hmm.
Um, I guess the only other tracks that really like I found even somewhat worth talking about is Pablo too. I kind of liked Pablo.
Yeah.
Thought it was all right. I mean, I'm really like stretching to get anything
Hmm.
else here, but everything just felt very flat.
On Keep It Burning, one of the songs with Future, on Keep It Burning, there's like a Talking Heads sample, burning down
Mm,
the house.
yeah,
I mean, obviously, the bar is very high for Kanye using samples in cool ways. So it's more like, hey, look, there's a sample, more than anything else. It's not like it was amazing. Uh, Yeah, I mean, you got a Soldier Boy feature at the end, first time in a long time. That's just notable because Soldier Boy got really mad when he didn't make Donda. He had laid a verse down for Remote Control. Kanye pays it back now, but it's not like it's a good song or anything. Um, Also
Soldier
notable,
Boy.
like right now, him and Cuddy have fallen back out, which is just sad. You know, hopefully he stays on good terms with Drake, I guess. But Yeah,
Petty
I
is
mean,
the only
yeah.
only thing that's made Kanye's records worth really noting in recent years with Kids See Ghosts, man. I mean,
Yeah, Father Stretched My Hands.
yeah. I don't know. It's really sad. I mean, what did you think of Louis bags? You know, kind of saying we don't buy Louis bags
Yeah.
since Virgil died.
I stopped buying Louis bags after Virgil passed. Awesome line, but it's not a hook. Like you
Yeah.
didn't write the rest of the song. Ugh,
All just
frustrating.
yep. I mean, so at this point, who knows what we're going to get from Kanye? Probably as most unpredictable right now. Does have, you know, like we said, Julia Fox as his muse. Like
I
she
think
was.
they've already split actually.
Oh,
That's
really?
already stopped. Yeah, like
Never
last
mind.
week or something. Yeah.
Just the best thing we got from that by far is her quote to call her daddy. I was Josh Safdie's muse in Uncut Jams. Just
Jobs.
a all time TikTok uh, sound. So shout out to Ye for that, I suppose. Uh, but yeah, I kind of just wanted to go away for a while, like you know,
Mm,
to take some time, uh, take care of yourself, figure out your shit with Kim, or your own stuff and whatever you're directing towards your ex-wife, and come back maybe inspired later on. I don't know.
right.
Uh, you know, just a quick like anecdote. Uh, as I'm preparing for my own wedding, I was like, which Kanye song am I going to pick out? And me and my fiance took like a half hour yesterday just playing Kanye songs and like, oh, this one would be fucking great to drop. I want to hear this one. And it's all 2016 and earlier.
Right.
Like, I don't know if there's
Obviously.
anything worth
Yeah.
caring about this guy at this
Just
point in terms
check
of
out
being
our
an artist.
right. I agree. Check out our Kanye West album rankings, youtube.com/nostalgia pod. We talked a lot more about the albums we like a lot more than Donda 2. So
Yep.
yeah. And one last note too. Calling this Donda 2 kind of stupid because like there's nothing about his mom on this, which actually was the case on Donda 1, despite its problems. There was still a lyrical through line there. Not the case with Donda 2. Stupid name. But yeah, I mean, the fact that it costs $200 and is not easily clickable on Spotify is probably for the best because less people are going to hear it and be disappointed.